Hey, this is Russ. Yeah, I'm back out on the road again. You might be wondering why I wasn't on the road on Tuesday's video. Yeah, there was no Tuesday video. I've been working on one of the reviews and it's still not finished. Yep. Now, you might be wondering why the U-Free bikes still don't have a review out, because I mentioned it many weeks ago. Well, that's because I'm still working on it. Still working on that bike. I'll tell you this though, it's a pretty good bike. I think you guys are gonna like this one. Yeah, it does torque sensor and cadence sensor, so you're gonna have to wait for that particular review. It'll be coming out soon. Sit tight. So what am I riding on today? This is the Engwe X24. Yeah, the X24. I have this bike actually up for sale for somebody if they want it. Yeah, take a look at the russisright.com website. That'll bring you over to the site that you need to go to find out what bikes I have available. But yeah, I decided to put this one up. I really kind of feel bad to do it because I really don't want to sell it. I really want to keep it. But we have way too many bikes at this point. New ones coming in and everything, and I just don't have space. I really don't have the space. I sold off one of the magicycle Jaguar Rundies, the white one that I had. And yeah, thank you to the couple who bought it. I showed them a picture of my living room. I won't post it. I figured I could show it to them because they can't show it to you unless they got some type of memory thing they can draw it out in their heads or something. But they'll tell you that living room is jam-packed with bikes. They were kind of surprised, I think. Yeah, there's no space. Literally, there's no more space. So new bikes come in, something's got to go, right? So I figured, well, let's offer a good one this time. Now, why didn't they buy this one? Well, they were looking for a 20-inch folding bike. Now, this one technically does fold. All right, it is technically a folding bike, but I can't see anybody really wanting to fold this bike. First off, it's too heavy to be a folding bike. I think the only reason it folds is because it allows them to put a second battery in that top tube. So yeah, this bike has 29.2 amp hours, 48 volt, 29.2 amp hours. That means you got a lot of range. Now, right now, I don't have the batteries fully charged. I only have it partially charged up because, you know, as you know, I brought down the power of all of the batteries for the winter. I gave it a little bit of charge and I took it out. I'll charge it up again when I get back. I'm at 72% right now. Now when you charge this battery, you have two batteries to charge. So you're gonna have to charge one and then you gotta charge the other one. They only give you one charger. But I'm sure you can buy a second charger from them if you wanted to, you know, speed up your process. That's possible, I'm sure. Oh, by the way, too, this bike now has optional fenders that you can purchase. I don't think it's that expensive. I think it's something like $49 or something like that for front and rear fenders. So if you want fenders on this bike, you can always add that. You just have to buy it directly from Engwe. But you know, this is a more aggressive looking bike. As you know, it's got full suspension, front and back. And so some people prefer not to have the fenders on it. I don't know. For me, I prefer to have the fenders on it. But you know, they didn't give it to me when the bike first came out, and I'm not going to ask them for it again because I may be selling the bike off. It wouldn't be fair to ask them to give me a free fender and then sell off the bike. That wouldn't be right. So, yeah, getting back to the Engwe, to the U-Free. Yeah, I already started the review process on that bike. As you know, there's two of them that we have there. We have the step over and the step through design. I've taken it out and ridden it already. It's pretty nice, but I want to show it to you guys properly, so gotta wait a little bit. Maybe next week, maybe it might come out. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. You know, the weather is going to rain tonight and the next day, I believe. So every time I want to go and do something, it either rains on me or the weather's so cold I can't get out there. But this past weekend, it's really windy right now. I can't even hear myself talking. I know you guys can hear it though. But you know, it's the wind blowing up against your ears, and you can't hear it yourself, even though you know it's being picked up by the microphone. But this weekend we had very good weather, but I was totally tied up this weekend. Yeah, we had a bunch of mulch delivered to us. We had like 5 cubic yards of mulch. Now, I don't know if you've ever ordered up mulch before, but 5 cubic yards is a lot. And of course, they just dump it on your driveway, and then you have to move it yourself. And so we borrowed a wheelbarrow from my neighbor, and back and forth I went moving that mulch. I will tell you this: when you're moving mulch and you're shoveling it into the wheelbarrow, first off, that takes a long amount of time to do. It just feels like you're not getting anywhere. I mean, literally, I kept putting more and more in there, and we kept moving more and more, and I kept looking at the pile, and I'm thinking, this pile's not getting any lower. Anyways, we did all of our landscape area with the mulch that it needed, and we had leftover mulch. I mean, I didn't know what we were going to do. Now, we could have taken that and just really kind of spread even more out, but we were so tired. We did 3 days of actually moving that thing back and forth and then spreading it out. Both of us were dead tired. Yeah, we're getting too old for this stuff. I don't think I want to do it anymore. I think that'll be the last time I ever do mulch again. I'll have to hire somebody to do it next time. It's just too much. Yeah, we're not getting any younger. So luckily my neighbor took the remaining amount of mulch and they put it on their property. So yeah, that was a lot of mulch. I think we could have probably done 4 cubic yards, and we had probably more than we really needed. But yeah, we got a lot of mulch down now. But man, my back was hurting. My back was hurting, Mrs. Wright was hurting, everybody was hurting. It's just the two of us doing all that work. Looks real good now, I'll tell you that. But man, that was a lot of effort. So with that going on, it limited my ability to go out to do bike rides. We had to get that stuff taken care of. You can't just leave that stuff on your driveway. I mean, it blocks up your cars in the garage and everything. I mean, they do tell you to move the cars if you want, but we said, nah, how long could it take us to do? It takes a long time. 3 days. Okay, now we didn't do it non-stop for 3 days. We did as much as we could till our backs and everything was hurting, and then we stopped, and then we did it the next day, and then the next day. So we didn't do it continuously, but it was 3 days of effort. 3 long, back-breaking days. Anyways, I'm not going anywhere too far because you know, our batteries are getting lower and lower, since it wasn't fully charged up by the time I took it out anyway. Like I mentioned before, I think the first couple rides always puts more strain on batteries, and then as you charge them up, they kind of get used to the fact that you're actually out there doing it, and then they seem to get better and better. So all right, now typically we would take a right and we'd cross over the major road, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go straight, turn around, come back. I just wanted to take this bike out, make sure everything was okay with it. So when I do sell this bike off, I will be taking off the added things that I put on there, which would be, of course, the bell, Remember that thing? Look at this thing. It's got a bunch of mulch or something here. Our pile was bigger than this. I don't know if you guys can see that. That little pile there was probably only a third of how much we had. We had a lot. All right, let me swing back around here. Yeah, I'm looking at that pile here. Let me angle the camera here. Sorry. Can you guys see that pile? Let's move this way. See that pile over there? Ours is probably like probably about 3 times the size of that. 2.5 to 3 times the size of that pile. So anyways, I'm going to take the bell off of it. I'm going to take off the cell phone mount, as you know. And then I'm going to take off the side view mirror. I need these things for other bikes as they come in, so I don't usually give them away. Otherwise, I just have to go out and buy more of the same thing again. So I just take them off, and then it'll be up to you to put your own on there. Easy enough to do, though, obviously. And, you know, in case you're curious about this mirror that I have here, let me angle here. Grab the camera there. That mirror there, it's made by a company called Hafney, Hafney, I believe. You can find that on Amazon. I have the links in the russisright.com site, all the accessories that I usually use. People do look at that link and do buy products just from that, because they kind of figure I've tested it out, and if Russ is using it, he hasn't complained about it. It must be halfway decent, right? So I like these mirrors. I mean, I have some of the magicycle mirrors, which is given to me for my magicycle bikes. It's a long, more elongated, but it's narrower. Or I don't know. I guess you would call it narrower. I kind of like this bigger one, the kind of big side thing there, because then I can see the ground more. So it means I can see traffic coming more towards me. So those you can purchase from Amazon. I have the links there for you too. Those are affiliate links, as you know. So anything that you buy using that will help me, because I get a slight commission from Amazon if you use it. So I appreciate it when you guys do that. And I know a number of people do it, because I do see it in the reports, you know, that come in, you know, hey, X amount of dollars came in because people used your link. Yeah, it's not a lot, but I appreciate it still. It's better than nothing, right? And then let me mention too, I appreciate you guys buying the X-Needle helmets, because I got another thing today letting me know a certain amount of X-Needle helmets were sold because of the Russ is Right channel. So I appreciate that. It is the helmet that I always use. People will ask me, you know, why don't you use like the Senna helmets or whatever? Well, first off, I don't have anyone to talk to. More often than not, it's just me riding. You know, if Mrs. Wright is riding, she doesn't like them. She says that she doesn't want to hear me talking, because she knows that I'll be talking and talking and talking on my video. She goes, I don't want to hear that all the time. She'd rather not communicate with me. So there you go. So the Senna helmets make no sense for us, but of course for somebody else it might be. But so the whole thing is with the X-Needle helmets that I use. It's, you know, it's got the light blinking, and it doesn't blink in the front, but it has a light in the front and then a blinking light in the back of the helmet. But beyond that, the main thing is it's rated to 28 miles per hour, and as you know, I do go kind of fast sometimes. So it's a safer thing for me to have, and that's why I use the X-Needle helmets. So if you're looking for an X-Needle helmet, and there is a discount code for you too, you know, click on the link to get to X-Needle through my affiliate thing, and then use the code, and that'll save you some money. I don't remember what the discount is. Obviously, it's good because a number of people bought helmets for this year already. So if you're looking for a new helmet or something that's a little safer because you're got a little bit more powerful bike or something and you want to keep safer, yeah, look into the X-Needle. Yeah, it's affiliate link, and it does help me. So there you go. A little bit of advertising for myself there and for them. They didn't sponsor this thing. I always just mention it because I really like the product, and that's why I continue with them. Alrighty, so now here's the thing with this bike. If you buy this bike, I do have a bit of tape, and let me see if I can angle down here. I don't know if you can see that, but the let's stop here first. All right, the guy's gonna let me go first. Thank you. I did put a little bit of tape across here. And the reason, again, is because if you use polarized sunglasses, some of the displays from some bikes, it's very difficult to see with the polarized sunglasses on. But if you do that trick that was told to us by one of our viewers, you take some clear packing tape, and you have to be at a certain angle. In my case, it's slightly diagonal. I could see this display screen with no problem at all with the polarized sunglasses I have now. So I'm gonna leave that on if someone buys it. Yeah, it's not the prettiest thing, you know, but hey, it works really good. I think you would want to leave it on too, because you know, if you're wearing sunglasses and they're polarized, you're never going to be able to see this thing. I wish sometimes the companies would look closer to this type of thing before they manufacture displays and stuff. I mean, Engwe doesn't make this, of course. They buy the display screen from whoever manufactures display screens. And but I really wish that those companies would look closer as to what does that stuff look like when you got sunglasses on. It's not the only bike. I mean, other bikes are like that too, and you have to do it. So, anyways, this bike is 8 speeds. It's got trigger shifters. The throttle is off on the left-hand side. Okay, there's a control panel right over here. I know the cell phone's blocking your view of it. I put the cell phone way over here because there's not a whole lot of room on these things, and if I put it closer this way, it would just kind of curve in. So I put it out as close as I can to the outside of it. You could, of course, get one of those handlebar extenders that go out here, and then you can add things like cell phone mounts and whatever, you know, extra headlights, all that kind of stuff. Gives you more space to use than just your handlebar. But you know, I have so many of these bikes coming in, I can't afford to keep doing them on every single bike and then taking them off and putting them on. So I just started to say, hey, you know what? I'm just going to cram them onto the handlebars, and it is what it is. Whether it looks good or it doesn't, it's functional. That's good enough for me. I think my very first bike, I was more concerned about how the bike looked and everything, and yeah, as you get as you've been using it for a while, you start thinking, yeah, I don't really need that. You know, I'll just make it work. That's all that counts. So. So, anyways, going back to the people who bought my one of my magicycle Jaguar Rundies. Okay, she wanted a 20-inch wheel bike. This one's 24. So it puts this one out of the class that she was looking for anyway. And although this folds, it's kind of heavy and awkward. I don't see anyone really using this as a folding bike to just move around, because it would be tough to get it in and out of the trunk of your car and everything like that. And with the 24-inch tires on it, just makes it too big and bulky. Plus these handlebars don't fold down, whereas the typical folding bike, the handlebar will fold down. So it's not practical. The whole point of the folding, I believe, is so that they can get that second battery on the top tube, and then the other battery is actually your seat post. Yeah, it doesn't have a conventional seat post. Your battery is the seat post. It's kind of cool, actually. But you got to crank it down. And what I mean is, you know, usually on like seat posts, there's a quick release on a seat post, you know. So it's the same thing. There's a quick release on the battery. So the thing is, you've got your weight sitting on that battery. So with the weight of the battery and your own weight sitting on it, that's a lot of pressure going down on that seat post opening. So it starts sliding down. So you got to really crank that seat post quick release down to get it to work. Here's how I did it. I actually took a vice grip and then tightened it up as best I could. And then as I'm pushing the quick release in, I'm making sure that that little nut on the other side has enough tension to keep it from slipping, so then it doesn't slip on me. Okay. Now here's an interesting thing. The saddle that comes with this is one of the best saddles for a bike that comes with its own saddle. You know how we always change saddles? I don't think you need to change this one. This one is really nice. I mean, it almost looks like leather. I know it's not leather because that would be an expensive saddle, but it's got nice cushiness to it and everything. So I don't know. I think it's pretty nice. I wouldn't change it. I haven't changed it. So I'm a big guy. Oh, people have asked again, how does it feel riding these bikes now that you're lighter in weight? Because as you know, I've lost 30 pounds. Oh, and an update on that too. Yeah, I kind of went up and down between 28 and 30 pounds. I did my 30-pound loss, and it stayed there for a while. Then I ate some more stuff, went up to 28-pound loss. I'm back down to 30-pound loss, so it kind of goes up and down there. That's only because I've been eating other things besides eating the salads and chicken. I'll make some pork butt stuff, and I'll have some ribs and. So I've been eating other things as well, and I think that's why the diet hasn't dropped. But again, I haven't gained more than 2 pounds, but within a day or two, I'd lose it all again. So really, I think those gains are temporary gains. But I weighed myself today, 30 pounds. Same thing, so I think the 30 pounds off is here to stay as long as I don't go crazy and eat other things. Oh, I mentioned before that I was going to, was it Golden Corral? Done that several times. Yeah, Mrs. Wright went with me. We did the Golden Corral dinner this time. It's really the same stuff. The only thing they do is they add some really cheap steaks. Really cheap steaks, a little bit of shrimp, fried shrimp in there. But other than that, it's really the same thing. They charge you a lot more money, of course. Yeah, they always charge you more for dinner out, weekend dinners and stuff. So she went with. It's not her favorite place, but she did it because she knows that I can't really go to a whole bunch of other places, and she knows I've been trying. So she says, yeah, let's just go there, so you can have something different than just salads all the time. So she did it for me, although I know it's not her favorite thing. I mean, she eats more vegetables than she eats meat anyway. But she did it, and she says, oh, I'm so full. She didn't eat that much, and she was so full. I had my typical two plates worth of stuff, but again, not that full of stuff. We've been more careful on what we eat now, so... Oh, here's another thing too, since we're talking about updates and things, because I haven't done much of this kind of updating stuff during the Anything Goes Mondays much, so I'll just tell you guys right now, and it'll be something you might be interested in because it is health related based on e-bikes, okay? So I took my blood pressure before going out on an e-bike. Then I rode the e-bike, and I took the blood pressure again. And I'm telling you, the blood pressure went down after exercising. I mentioned it before, but it did go down. I mean, I took a look at my stats. I'm usually about like 145 over 80 and 85, something like that. So it's not the greatest, right? Well, then I took blood pressure immediately following taking a bike ride, and that thing had dropped. Yeah, I think I don't remember exactly, but it was around the range of like the 120 over 80, 75, 80, something like that. Well, I did the same thing again after working really hard on the mulch. That's a lot more effort I've done on that thing than even riding a bike, because you're back and forth moving the stuff, and then moving the stuff, and then also shoveling it. So when I took the blood pressure after I did it, it was like 113 over, what was it? 67? 70? Something like that. Never been that low before. So it goes to show you that exercise does help drop your blood pressure, whether it's e-bike or dealing with mulch. Alright, that's basically all I have for you guys for today. I'm looking at my battery. My battery is getting lower and lower at this point. I think it's time for me to head back. Anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're interested in this bike again, go ahead and check the russisright.com site. It'll give you the price of what the bike is. You do have to pick up the bike in the northwest suburbs of Illinois. Okay. So the price is what it is there, and it's got a really good price on it right now. So if you're interested, check it out. All right. Talk to you guys next time.